You think you know Marc-Andre Fleury. You see the perpetual grin, the infectious laughter, the celebratory leaps, and you believe the pervasive legend of the happy-go-lucky flower child of the crease, forever radiating an almost childlike purity of spirit. He is the crowd favorite, the teammates' beacon, the embodiment of joy on skates. But what if that smile isn't merely a reflection of a cheerful heart? What if the boundless enthusiasm, the unyielding optimism, the very essence of his widely celebrated persona is a meticulously woven veil, a shimmering illusion designed not to deceive, but to protect, to mask something far older, far more enigmatic, and profoundly powerful than mere mortal happiness? We accept the surface, but the true depths of the legend of Fleury whisper of something else entirely, an unspoken pact with the relentless currents of destiny itself. This isn't just a man. It's a living, breathing paradox, wrapped in a mystifying aura of benevolence. For decades, the hallowed halls of hockey have echoed with the name of Marc-Andre Fleury, a goaltender whose resume reads not like a mere compilation of statistics, but like a saga penned by ancient, knowing scribes. 3 shimmering Stanley Cups, a coveted Vezina trophy, and a list of victories that stretch into the very firmament of the sport, positioning him among the immortal few. But does a man, born of flesh and blood, simply achieve such breathtaking heights through sheer grit and undeniable talent alone? Or is there something else at play, a hidden current, a whispered pact with the very forces of fate that has guided his unlikely journey through the arenas of legend, propelling him beyond the realm of the ordinary? Where does such enduring grace truly originate? What cosmic winds have filled his sails, and what unwritten prophecy has he been unconsciously fulfilling? We gaze upon his accomplishments and marvel, but the deeper question lingers, unsettling and profound. Is the source of his legendary success truly human? Or does it stem from a wellspring of power that defies earthly comprehension, a secret gift bestowed by the very spirits of the game? How? We must ask, does a human body, subjected to the relentless barrage of frozen rubber propelled at impossible speeds, to the bone-jarring collisions within the unforgiving painted crease, maintain such breathtaking agility and cat-like quickness well into an age where most others have long since faded into the twilight of memory? We speak of his athleticism, his almost supernatural reflexes, but these are mere mortal terms for what often appears to be a blatant defiance of physics, a choreographed ballet of the impossible, a spectral blur of motion that halts the inevitable. Did he simply train harder, push his physical limits further than any other, or did he tap into a wellspring of resilience, a secret alchemy of spirit and sinew, unknown to lesser men? It is more than just skill. It is an intuitive understanding of the puck's trajectory, an almost prescient anticipation of the next move. Some even whisper that before every single game, Fleury meticulously draws tiny, intricate flowers on his goal equipment, a personal ritual, a silent invocation, that some believe links him not just to the quiet, enduring strength of nature, but to an ancient lineage of guardians, perhaps explaining his seemingly inexhaustible grace under the most crushing pressure, a profound connection to something elemental and eternal. Consider his early, meteoric ascendance with the Pittsburgh Penguins, a youthful prodigy thrust into the crucible of expectation. 3 shimmering Stanley Cups, a dynasty forged in steel and ice, with Fleury often serving as the initial, sometimes turbulent, cornerstone. He was the raw, untamed force, prone to flashes of brilliance and moments of youthful uncertainty, yet always present when the final horn sounded on a victory. Was it merely the collective, burgeoning talent of a young, formidable team? Or did his presence, his very aura, somehow stabilize the volatile energies of championship contention, guiding them through the tempestuous seas of postseason battles? When the weight of expectation threatened to crush the nascent dynasty, when the very fabric of their destiny seemed to fray at the edges, Fleury stood, seemingly unburdened, a smiling sentinel between the posts, deflecting not just pucks, but the immense pressure itself. During his cup-winning years with Pittsburgh, Fleury developed a silent, almost telepathic understanding with his goalposts, an uncanny rapport that often resulted in an almost unbelievable number of pucks striking iron before harmlessly deflecting away from the net. This phenomenon, so frequent and fortuitous, was one that some teammates, both awestruck and half-jokingly, attributed to the post whispering its secrets to him, an invisible shield conjured by an unspoken, almost mystical bond between man and metal, turning despair into serendipity. Then came the most impossible, the most fabled chapter of his saga, the genesis of the Vegas Golden Knights. A team built from cast-offs and forgotten souls, a mere assemblage of names on paper, plucked from the fringes of other rosters, dismissed by all as an expansion afterthought. Yet, under Fleury's improbable guidance, they didn't just compete, they soared, a dazzling phoenix from the parched desert, carving an indelible path all the way to the Stanley Cup final in their inaugural season. How does one man, even a goaltender of his immense caliber, ignite such a dormant inferno in the hearts of strangers, transforming a collection of individuals into an unstoppable force of nature? Was it mere leadership? Was it pure, unadulterated charisma? Or did he, like some ancient shaman chanting a forgotten spell, breathe life into the very spirit of the team, weaving together disparate threads of fate into an unbreakable tapestry of destiny? Was he merely a goaltender, or the very pulsating heart of an improbable legend, beating louder than any drum, his smile a catalyst for miracles, his presence a magnet for fortune, turning sand into gold, forever etching this impossible feat into the annals of hockey lore? Years later, when the conventional wisdom dictated that his sun had surely set, when the inevitable twilight of a long, arduous career should have embraced him, Fleury, with an audacious defiance that mocked time itself, transcended every expectation. He claimed the coveted Vezina Trophy in 2021 as the league's undisputed best goaltender, not as a final, nostalgic hurrah, but as a startling resurgence, a testament to an enduring mastery that seemed to deepen with age, like an ancient, well-honed blade gaining sharper wisdom with each passing year. His celebrated positive spirit, his unwavering sportsmanship, his cheerful interactions with opponents and officials alike are heralded as defining traits, the very essence of his public persona. But can a mortal truly maintain such unblemished optimism, such relentless benevolence, through decades of brutal physical competition, the crushing weight of public scrutiny, and the relentless, unforgiving pursuit of perfection? Or is it a practiced art, a shield against the weariness, a mantra against the dark? It is whispered by those closest to the ice that in the darkest moments of a game, when defeat loomed like a spectral shadow, Fleury would sometimes hum a nearly inaudible, ancient French folk tune to himself, a personal anchor, a secret incantation that seemed to calm the rising chaos around him and recenter his formidable focus, alone, melodic defense against the encroaching shadow of doubt and despair. So we stand before the undeniable, shimmering mosaic of Marc-Andre Fleury's career, a winning machine, a three-time champion, a Vezina redeemer, an individual pinnacle of his demanding craft, all meticulously wrapped in a public persona of infectious, almost boundless joy. He possesses a longevity that mocks the relentless march of time, an athleticism that seems to defy the very process of aging, and a spirit that appears unshakable, a fortress against all negativity. But the truly unsettling question, the one that gnaws at the edges of understanding, is not simply what he has achieved, but how he has achieved it with such consistent, almost otherworldly grace, through such varied circumstances and across such a vast expanse of time. Is the apparent ease with which he navigates the tumultuous, often brutal waters of professional sport a mark of his inherent purity, a simple, untroubled soul? Or is it the subtle, insidious sign of a profound, perhaps even preternatural, understanding of forces beyond our grasp, a hidden wisdom granted from a realm unseen? The cold, Hard numbers tell one glorious story, yet the whispers, the fleeting glimpses behind the veil, tell another, hinting at an enduring enigma that even his gleaming trophies cannot fully explain. He is not merely a player. He is a phenomenon, a living testament to something just beyond the familiar landscape of human comprehension, a riddle masked by a smile. And now, consider this, a chilling thread woven into the very fabric of his legendary saga. For all his celebrated wins, for all his gleaming silverware, for all the moments he has hoisted entire franchises onto his shoulders and carried them to the brink of glory, there's a subtle, almost imperceptible pattern woven into the tapestry of his greatest triumphs and most profound, often bittersweet, losses. When he was seemingly invincible, when he elevated teams beyond all rational reason, it was often followed, sometimes just years later, by an abrupt, almost surgical separation from that very success, a passing of the torch that felt less like the natural evolution of a team and more like a necessary, cyclical ritual. From Pittsburgh, after delivering 3 cups, he was unceremoniously pushed aside for a younger heir, despite still being at the height of his powers. From Vegas, after their magical, impossible run to the final, he was eventually traded away as the team sought a new direction, leaving the heart of their nascent dynasty behind. It's as if his purpose, once fulfilled, once the cosmic debt was paid or the prophecy completed, required him to shed the skin of his past, leaving behind the immediate glory he created, yet carrying something unseen, some potent essence, forward into the next chapter. This isn't just the cold, calculated business of hockey. It feels eerily like the ancient cycles of a wandering, almost elemental spirit, arriving to fulfill a specific destiny, leaving behind an unforgettable legacy, and then moving on to the next uncharted frontier, forever seeking new challenges, perhaps not for his own ambition, but for some greater, unspoken cosmic balance, a celestial score to settle. Is the happy warrior merely an unwitting instrument, a willing vessel for a power that moves through him, animating his smile, leaving him to skate and play, seemingly unaware of the deeper, older currents he rides, forever bound to a purpose beyond his own understanding? So, with all the myths unraveled and the legends questioned, we must ask again, this time with a fresh sense of unease, our assumptions irrevocably shaken. What if that smile isn't what it seems?